cinema matinee. I ain't got $7.50 to pay.
Everybody now.
I take it y'all are some big Sherlock Holmes fans.
Who isn't?
Hey man, I love Sherlock Holmes. I mean, he's the original Batman.
Second world's greatest detective next to Bruce Wayne, of course.
Well, I like the fact that they've actually changed him into a human instead of a mouse, and he's not going after that rat.
God damn it. You know what? it would figure that the one Sherlock Holmes you identify with is the great mouse detective animated cartoon.
People may be used to Sherlock Holmes as more of a dry, clever English wit sort of thing. I mean, yeah, it's still there. It still feels like that character, but at the same time, they've pumped it up a lot.
Well, he's that guy who only studies his thing, and he's a genius at it. And the idea that somebody could walk in, he could look at them and just pick up little clues and tell their whole story back to him.
Essentially, he's cold reading.
I mean, somebody will sit up there and fart and be like, and he'd be like, guilty. In this movie, they portray Sherlock Holmes more as an eccentric.
Here's the guy when he doesn't have a crime to solve or something to put his mind to, he just starts to lose it.
The story has to do with Sherlock Holmes, who thought that he put away this guy, Lord, what's his name? Blackass? Lord
Blackass? Blackmort? Blank Man?
No, Lord Blackwood comes in and tells him, he said, I want to see Sherlock Holmes one more time before I die so I can tell him, you can't fuck with me. I'm not going to die. I'm coming back. I have the black arts on my side, and trying to kill me is only going to make me stronger. So he hangs, but a few days later, everybody says, Lord Blackwood has returned.
Yeah, which Sherlock Holmes, being reasonable-minded, says, bullshit.
It's directed by Guy Ritchie. He paced this movie so well. He made it a lot of fun. And most importantly, he just made this relationship between Holmes and Watson. These were real old friends who knew each other so well that they fought.
Makes you quite invaluable as a companion.
Dude, this so reminded me of Me and You, where I'm following you into crazy situations. And I'm like, you know what? I'm probably stupider than him because I know better to do this, and I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, the fool who follows.
We're going to solve the case of the Las Vegas whore.
Oh, all right.
Look, there's a clue right here on her ass.
Well, this is a fine mess you've gotten me into.
I like Guy Ritchie. The only thing is, he rips off Quentin Tarantino all the time. And the time that he does not, then Madonna gets him doing some like Swept Away. And I said, the moment that he does something original, call me. And this isn't really original. I mean, it's Sherlock Holmes, but it's not the same gangster shit that he's done.
All he had to do was shed 120 pounds of dead weight, which is Madonna. Once he got rid of her, it's like he really found his mojo with this.
This movie has a very strong cast and a very, very tight script. And the movie does kind of stop for a moment to say, okay, this is the big action set piece, but they work well with the film.
They know, like, people want some action, but they work it into the film in a way that doesn't slow it down, and it adds to the plot.
I'm getting tired of slow motion in movies where, they move real fast and then they stop and slow down.
We can kidnap Zack Snyder and drop him off in Mexico, and you never got to worry about that ever again.
But there is a fight scene in this movie where they use it to explain what's happening in the scene. They use a slow motion.
Every time he uses it, he has a mission and a specific purpose to serve the story and the characters.
Boy, we ain't done yet.
This mustn't register on an emotional level. First, distract target. Then block his blind jab. Counter with cross to left cheek. Discombobulate. Dazed, he'll attempt wild haymaker. Weaken right jaw. Now fracture. Break cracked ribs. Heel kick to diaphragm. In summary, ears ringing, jaw fractured, 3 ribs cracked, 4 broken, diaphragm hemorrhaging. Physical recovery, 6 weeks. Full psychological recovery, 6 months.
I would say this is a perfect movie. Now, the only bad thing I would say about it is that Rachel McAdams in it, she kind of sucks.
Maybe they just needed somebody who is just a little bit older. She's a femme fatale. She's supposed to come in and lure somebody with her sexuality, and somebody who is of Holmes' intelligence. I mean, she's supposed to be so goddamn fine. She
that
comes in and just
can't resist.
Yeah, he can't resist that ass. She has to have that attitude to carry that sexiness, and she did at first. And then she's like, Holmes, I was like, oh man, all right. As it stands right now, I give the movie full price.
I am thinking, I hate that it came in so late, but I'm gonna take that leap and say better than sex.
Okay.
Wow.
Because I know.
That's definitely a full price. Even though I missed the Baker Street Irregulars. Really wanted to see them.
Oh,
That's
there
my
you go.
favorite.
There you go. You gotta let everybody know you read the books,
No,
don't you?
that's my favorite Sherlock Holmes thing. That being said, these two guys, Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law, it's like watching a comedy routine between two really seriously experienced comics who've been working together for a long time. I mean, let's face it, there's a little bit of homosexual undertones
No,
here.
don't put that on it.
I'm just saying.
It's more of a bromance.
But there is that where Holmes does not want him to go off and be in love with a woman.
Look at you trying to be the gay detective. Look at
the gaydar.
Yeah, you sit up there freezing the frame. Now, if you look here and zoom in closely, sharpen that, you see that Holmes certainly does have a hard on right here for Watson. They're doing gay forensics and